your tax dollars, are funding the Taliban right now. And this has been going on since September 2021. On a weekly basis, the United States, the current administration, Mr. Joe Biden, has been sending $40 million, not from his own checking account. It's the U.S. payers, Americans' tax dollars. He's sending them $40 million cash every week that ends up in Afghanistan. If Mr. Biden wins this election, the Taliban will stay in power for another 4 years. There's a good chance the Taliban will stay in power for another 4 years. Mr. Joe Biden has had so many opportunities to correct this with just one phone call. He has not. He can pick up a phone today, call Commander Massoud, call Mr. Amrullah Saleh, the acting president of Afghanistan, end this. He has not. And I don't think he will. And so I'm only going to talk to veterans at this point. Look, like all of you guys went and you served in Afghanistan and you sacrificed and you did all of these things, which are appreciated by the Afghan people. Now ask yourself, the question is not if the Afghan people, if we appreciate your sacrifices, because we do. And Commander Massoud has said this on Scott Mann's podcast. He's very grateful to the American veterans for their sacrifices. Ask if your commander-in-chief, if the current commander-in-chief appreciates your sacrifices. And then decide based on that. Decide whether you want to vote for this man once again.
That's a damn good point.
Look, and the simplest way I could say it right here, right now, American taxpayer money, your tax dollars, are funding the Taliban right now. And this has been going on since September 2021. On a weekly basis, the United States, the current administration, Mr. Joe Biden, has been sending $40 million, not from his own checking account. It's the U.S. payers, Americans' tax dollars. He's sending them $40 million cash every week that ends up in Afghanistan. And it's a very complex system. The money goes to the Afghanistan International Bank that lacks any authority to convert this dollar to Afghani, to auction it, right? And so this money, AIB gives it to the Taliban-controlled Central Bank of Afghanistan. When I say Central Bank, think Federal Reserves. So the money goes there. Now, who is in charge of Afghanistan's central bank right now? Nur Ahmad Agha, sanctioned terrorist, sanctioned by the United States for financing IED attacks against our soldiers that killed American soldiers. He runs the central bank. He gets $40 million every week. Now, once the money reaches the central bank, they hold what is called a bidding and auctioning session, where they invite individuals that are involved with the Hawala system, licensed money dealers. They invite them, and they're bidding. Everyone bids on who wants to buy this dollar and for how much. Now, the ones they invite are all individuals affiliated with the senior leadership of the Taliban or with the Haqqani network. They invite these individuals, and since 2021, consistently the winner every week is individuals linked to the Haqqani network. They get the money, they auction it, they convert it to Afghani, and Haqqani gets a portion. And then this money, the remaining, is given to what is called NGOs, local implementing partners in Afghanistan. Now, these NGOs that are in Afghanistan, about 900 or so, all of them came into existence after America left. These are all NGOs that their licenses were issued to them by the Taliban. So if basically what I'm saying is this, if you go to Afghanistan today to help our Afghan allies, our friends, and you want to open up an NGO, the Taliban will not give you a license. You're Shawn Ryan.
Are these NGOs also Chinese mining camps?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Could
But
it
they
be
are.
possible that the U.S. is not only funding Taliban, but also Chinese mining camps?
I am not
Is
sure.
that a possibility?
Everything is possible in Afghanistan right
It's
now.
an NGO.
But these NGOs, they're all affiliates of the Taliban. Their licenses were given to them by the Taliban, and the Taliban will not give you a license, will not give me a license. They only give their own supporters licenses. So now this money reaches these NGOs, and from there, it's not even the end of story at that point. These NGOs, they either give a cut directly to the Taliban, or they distribute the aid in areas where there are Taliban fighters, suicide bombers, would-be suicide bombers, and suicide bombers who are already in hell. Their families get aid. And so U.S. taxpayer money right now is funding the Taliban. Now, your viewers may be shocked and they may say, oh, Legend is lying. It can't be possible that I am with the resistance, so I may be biased. I'm trying to help the resistance. Don't take my word for it. Listen to John Sopko, the Special Inspector General for Afghanistan Reconstruction. He's neither Panjshiri. John Sopko is not a member of the Taliban. He's certainly not a member of the NRF. His office came into existence because Congress mandated his office. He reports directly to the United States Congress, not to the administration. John Sopko testified before the United States Congress and said, I cannot assure the American people that their tax dollars are not funding the Taliban. Listen to him. It is happening right now. And it's like I said, it's your tax dollars. It's your tax dollars going to the very individuals who killed hundreds and thousands of American soldiers, injured so many Americans, killed hundreds of thousands of Afghans, and right now they're hosting Al-Qaeda and ISIS and everyone else who are planning to attack you again. And you're funding it. I'll tell you this, the situation is so bad. Back during the first reign of the Taliban, we used to say, the resistance used to say, if Pakistan used to be the main supporter, financial supporter of the Taliban back then. And the Afghans used to say, if Pakistan stopped supporting the Taliban will crumble in 1 year. Today, I'm telling you, if America stops supporting the Taliban, stopped sending 40 million to the Taliban, you will see the Taliban crumbling in under a year. The Taliban is a dying regime. The only thing that's keeping it alive at the moment, since 2021, is this $40 million injection that the U.S. keeps putting in the arms of this dying Taliban every week. It's that bad.
What about China?
We already discussed it. China
they're also helping.
Yes, but
what do the regular Afghan people of the Chinese coming in, what do they think of that and helping the Taliban? And if they are building infrastructure that does improve the country, are they pro-Chinese?
Well, you said a few things. First, they're not building anything for Afghans. They're building stuff for that Red Road and Belt Initiative and surveillance system, which helps the Taliban. China is not there helping your Afghan ally. They're helping the Taliban. Everything they're doing either helps China's Road and Belt Initiative or it helps the Taliban directly.
Do they realize that?
The Afghan people? Of course they realize it. But you're talking about a poor, oppressed people who the moment they say something, in an hour, the Taliban will execute them. Mm-hmm. There is no freedom of speech in Afghanistan. Mm-hmm. What I have said to you right now, if I had said 2% of this publicly in Afghanistan, I would be executed by now. Yes. So the Afghans, they don't have a voice here. Now, we are their voice. You're their voice. You can be their voice. And this is something that can be stopped right now. This cash could be stopped right now. It just takes one phone call from the president. But it's not happening.
No matter where you're watching Shawn Ryan Show from, if you get anything out of this, please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share this everywhere you possibly can. And if you're feeling extra generous, please leave us a review on Apple and Spotify podcasts.